My good God, I'm embarrassed if that's what he's saying about me, about my attitude and the way I engage with my teammates.
Games in, what do you make of Onana?
Oh, no, not great. He's had listen, obviously really poor start. We talk about positions at any big club. I think you've mentioned a number of times, Gary, a goalkeeper at Man United is huge for that personality, deal with mistakes, but he's already made 6, 7, 8 big mistakes that have led to goals. It's not been a great start. It's a long way back. We've seen other keepers come to United where they've had a tricky start and we've worked with them. We thought they're really good goalkeepers, but there seemed to be no way back from. You always say that before you start ranting and raving at people, make sure your own game. Habits. I'm looking at the goalkeeper, wasting time. Your goalkeeper at Man United playing you're 2 or 3-0 up and you're wasting time. Just get on with the game, you know, flex your muscles. You've got the game won. And all of a sudden you take a step back almost. Show some courage, almost frightened to go and win the game. He's had a big impact, but the impact today and the winning the penalty and the goal and the finish certainly wasn't easy. And that just gave a player prepared to run forward as well. And also Bruno's chance came from somebody actually running forward. And a brilliant moment for him. And well deserved. He's got a bit of energy, he's got a bit of quality. Young kid, learning his trade. Obviously you always worry, listen, hopefully he stays grounded. But a big afternoon for him.
He's also versatile as well, can he? He can play in the front three, he can play wing back. I think he's been the best player for Man United this season.
We look for certain traits in a Man United player, obviously, and he looks like he's got that. He looks like he's comfortable in the jersey. We talk about pressure and recruitment over the last few years, and players can't find their feet playing for Man United. But he looks as if I'm okay being a Man United player. Man United fans don't jump on players' backs that quickly, let me tell you. Sometimes they do give him the benefit of the doubt. They're really frustrated with Marcus Rashford at the moment for his lack of skill, and not really, because they don't see a player running. Like James said, playing for the badge. He's a local lad. He's had a lot of plaudits over the last few years. He's got the mega deal, all well and good. And you look at players, I'm always looking at players, the hunger, have they got that desire to do well? And Marcus isn't showing it that much. So whenever you give him a ball to take a penalty, no, I need a bit more. When you run forward, no problem. But you bloody run back when you're playing for Man United, and no excuses. And all we do is hear excuses, confidence. Listen, every player can have a dip in confidence. But sometimes, again, you go back and you go, how do I fix this? You run.
Yeah, but look at the team.
I feel a probably move for Marcus is definitely would suit the player, a new challenge for him. He's been at the club a long time. He's done well for the club, but over the last year or two, whatever about talent at a big club, if your attitude's not quite right, and his certainly hasn't been great recently, sometimes I think it's good to part ways.
I'll tell you, Rashford's come on. Hey, Rashford, general play as a footballer, is shocking. Watch his header there.
Mail online.
That's a great block.
Zerkzee, as things stand, he won't ever play for Manchester United again. A Manchester boy, a Manchester United.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's been on the cards the last year or two, particularly the last few months. Did the new manager come in? Clearly they didn't get on. The manager got no reaction from Marcus. The strange thing for me, I thought when Marcus was going to leave Man United, or certainly going on, he was going to go abroad to try something new adventure for him, a different league, different challenge. So to go to Villa kind of surprised me a little bit. But I always think if he's lost a hunger at Man United, how is he going to get it at Aston Villa? Because that's what he's lost.
But it is massive.
The one thing I'd say about Casemiro, a few times I've seen, when you watch him, so when he's off it, he is off it. We've seen it in some games. You look, obviously we've gone back to the Palace game. There's games you can highlight going, when he's not at it, he looks terrible. Yeah, but partly you would say to him, as you get a bit older, my point is, as I got older and I was 31, and you weren't, the one thing I would say to myself was, whatever I'm going to do today, I'm going to do the simple things well. I'm probably writing him off yet. That's all. He's at the club, he's an experienced player. Sometimes you have to go away, clear the head. It's still early in the season. As you said, he's come back and he's lost a lot of weight. Sometimes that can affect the player. Yeah. Where you're going, we're on about players that become fitness freaks, and I was an example of it. I became a bit body fat. You go, actually, you've gone too far the other way. Hey, you still need that strength and that power in the middle of the park. Yeah. You want someone in there, in that position, whatever about intelligence is dynamic.
You could target
and he is not dynamic.
No, he's not. You can target him.
Sorry, we've let you down. Too little, too late. You know, you're judged what you do on the football pitch. And I don't think Bruno had done enough in a lot of the games where he didn't show that leadership. I would definitely take the captaincy off him, 100%. I know it's a big decision, obviously, to change the captaincy with Maguire, but Fernandes is not captain material. I think he's a talented player, no doubt about it. But what I saw today with him again, I know we've discussed this many times before, was at Liverpool last year. His whinging, his moaning, his throwing his arms up in the air constantly. It really isn't acceptable. What we saw today, I'm thinking, I would take that off him, because I think you have to start somewhere. You're talking about where do you make change? You're talking about board level, managers. I would start to adapt. Fernandes is a brilliant footballer. In terms of captain material, he's the opposite to what I would want in a captain. The proof's there with all the results, not just onto Bruno, of course, but I don't think he showed enough leadership skills when the goings got tough with some of the performances. And I don't think Bruno should be too proud of himself of what's happened to the Man United manager over the last week or two, Den Haag. I think I said it earlier, I think the players let the manager down, ultimately. But that's football and that's life. These players have got that desire to score a goal.
Do you not think he has that?
He's not showing it. He's missing a lot of clear-cut chances. And he doesn't want to be one of these strikers who come to Man United where you go, oh, he's a bit unlucky, or he's a bit unlucky. For a club like Man United, you can't keep waiting. Yeah, he'd probably say, I need more chances. He had an injury when first came to the club. You give him the benefit of the doubt. A big club like Man United, you look at them stats there for goals, it's so poor, it's unbelievable. And obviously it's just not down to him. He's got more experienced players around him who are used to the Premier League. That desire and that hunger to put the ball in the back of the net, I don't see it. But what are you going to do about it? What is the player going to do about it? So you might say the other day, do you know what, you're going to get your 15 minutes against Arsenal, 20, and you might get 1 or 2 half chances. You better take them, or make the keeper save it. So you can't come off the pitch after games as a striker go, down in confidence, you know, but you go, I know, but you've had 20 minutes on the pitch. Some players only get 2 minutes on the pitch. Solskjaer only needed 5 or 6 minutes on the pitch. Sometimes go, but instead of coming on going, listen, 5 or 6 minutes, listen, everyone wants longer. Listen, maybe that was a bad example.
No.
But Ollie would come on with the attitude going, I'm watching the game, I get up to speed, and when that Hojland gets that chance, I'm looking going, that's just about a half-decent touch. And if the keeper saves it, like the chance later on where it was blocked, I go, I have no problem with that. The defender made a good block. But that's your chance to score a goal. So you go, oh, no, mate, it's confident. So what, you wait another 6 months?
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to get many chances as good as that in such a big game.
He's been lucky, hasn't he, that there's no one really there to come in and take his place. Can he get there? Hopefully they can.
But they paid 70-odd million. You can't, I don't know, you can pay 70-odd million for a player to be a backup player.
That's the way it's gone now, isn't it?
Not for a backup player. No, I think there should be backup strikers. If you're not scoring goals week in, week out, we can only go back to the teams we played in with the strikers. You always thought, even on a really bad day, you still score 1 or 2 goals. He got in the United team, and obviously his performances for England eventually when he got in the team was, he seems to have a lot of maturity. He's got a lot of maturity. Obviously he's got to back it up what he did last season when he got into the team. He was, you know, you're playing in the middle of the park for Man United. It's a difficult position. But he just he made it look very, very easy. And obviously he added some important, he's got goals to it. We talk about his defensive side of it, his reading of the game. Again, I go back to that football intelligence. But his maturity was what impressed me last year. And hopefully he can back it up now and stay injury-free. He's got a lot of good experience around him. Sure, hopefully they will help him. But I've been hugely impressed with him. And fingers crossed, he doesn't relax now and lose that hunger, shall we say. And he kicks on and continues to be a top player. Played really well. Garnacho and the subs obviously made a difference, and they played a lot more direct. I think it does suit him when he comes off the bench. I'm not sure you can trust him when he starts games. When he comes off the bench and they're obviously taking more gambles and his stretch, that does where he comes into his own. But obviously they're tired, the subs came on and they lost a bit of physicality. And that's what Garnacho does. You want to put defenders on the back foot. You want to test them. In the first half, they were coming inside, playing sideways and backwards, but they tested them and they got their rewards. Garnacho, listen, I think recently there's been huge question marks out of him. I think he makes some decent runs. He is a threat. He does try and make the, running behind, but his end product has been so poor, I think, this year, particularly in recent games. That's an area of his game. If he wants to stay at this Man United team, get Man United competing towards the top, end product is key. We go back to even Ford and these players, when they're off it, it's the end product, the final pass, or actually getting a goal. So Garnacho, again, huge question mark. So I was a big fan of him maybe last year. I thought, listen, he's going to kick on, but he's not kicked on as yet. We'll pretend he meant it. But Zerkzee, he gets in his position. He ends up doing the right thing.
Do you think he ever should about...
After getting taken off the other night. So
what about the ball he plays into Maguire?
Do you know what? I don't care. Daniel's saying you can give him a better pass. Listen, know your players. He's not going to give you his confidence is sky high.
What do you mean by it, Daniel? Just don't bobble it into him. You've got all the time in the world to cut the ball back with Premier.
You're passing to an England international player.
You've got to just
know
keep
your players.
The ball.
But when it's coming to you, know your players. He's not going to give you the perfect pass. Expect the bobble into you. But what you have to do when and obviously it's Harry Maguire.
I'm not expecting a bobble into me. If you're in that position,
I would from him. I would. You'd have to. Again, it's called knowing your players. He's not going to zip it into you perfectly, is it? But you got to hit the target, Harry. No problem.
It's a 3-yard.
We saw players earlier in the day. Today, you said we saw Ipswich in the post game.
We're talking about an international football player. I'm not piling onto Zerkzee here saying, look, you're miles off it.
If that ball came to you, would you fancy your chances hitting the target?
Yes, of course I would.
But he's not Harry
But
Maguire.
I'm not Harry Maguire,
That's my
that's the
point. So someone has to go on Harry Maguire a little bit. You're not going to get the perfect pass, literally last kick of the game. If you get that, that's where you want from your attacking players. And Eric mentioned particularly players off the bench. And I tell you, it was a brilliant finish. I thought it was a really good finish. We couldn't figure out what was it an OG, how we got the connection on it. His link up, he was neat and tidy. And sometimes it does take players 1 or 2 seasons to settle into a club and a system, particularly when they pick up some injuries. So we have to give the benefit to certain players. It might take 12 months to 2 seasons to settle into the club. So we should maybe sometimes give players the benefit of the doubt. Morale, confidence must be really low, obviously. They're not scoring goals. Set piece is not great at defending. They don't look like a great group. They haven't got that goal scorer. So Man United, a world-class club. They've got no world-class players. They haven't even got a striker today that you think could get you out of jail. You look at the goalkeeper. He's not great. So the evidence suggests it's going to be tough going for Man United. These players haven't got the DNA, a lot of them, of a Man United player, in my eye.